Mr. Gonzalez, I have petitioned to revoke your probation, alleging that on or about December the 15th, excuse me, June the 15th, you committed a new offense. On or about January 9th, you failed to attend a hearing. And on or about December 26th and last year and February 3rd of this year, you failed to participate in counseling. Enter denial. Appoint Elias Dominiacos to represent you on these charges. Set a probation violation hearing for July the 9th at 1:30. No alcohol or illegal drugs. no acts of domestic violence, no firearms or weapons, no contacts with Esmeralda Navarro, Carla Casillas, or Oscar Armando Grijalvo Ayon. You're not to go near their residences or workplaces. Your bond is $2,500 cash. Thank you, Mr. Rial. Good evening. I'm Judge Shea, and you are
Shannon Marie McClanahan Johnson.
planning on having a warrant here.
Yeah.
I have warrants out of South Tucson, 2 counts of criminal trespass, one from April of 2024, April the 30th, one from December 3rd of 2024. Looks like you're supposed to be in court sometime in January.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. I was in DOC. I'm currently in DOC now. I'm just coming back to clear up another case as well.
We'll appoint Michael Vaughn to represent you on these 2 files. Your next court date will be June 27th at 10 a.m. Your bond is $500.
So, okay. June? Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
I'm not through with you. Don't run away.
Sorry, ma'am.
We also have warrants out of Tucson City Court.
Those were all taken care of.
They were not. Let me tell you the status. I have an email here from you dated February the 3rd asking to reschedule your court.
Yeah, ma'am. I go to court on Monday for those.
No, not for
Yeah.
them. Asking to reschedule. So it was rescheduled to February 25th. You didn't appear. An OSC was set and a warrant was issued.
Again, I was incarcerated. DOC.
Well, but you didn't notify the court, and you certainly had no problem with notifying the court before. So,
Ma'am, I couldn't afford, I barely have enough money to get one legal letter out as opposed to get them all. They arrested me. They knew where I was.
we'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. Your court date will be the 3rd of July at 1:45.
Okay.
And your bond on these will be $250.
All right.
All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. What was the, I'm sorry, ma'am. So what was the first one that you said? That was June?
Right, tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, go to court tomorrow. Again. Oh, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you,
Robert Moore.
Mr. Moore, I have a citation here from June the 15th, charging you with assault, alleged to have occurred in the vicinity of 615 West Valencia.
Uh, okay. I don't mean. I plead innocent.
That's fine, we'll enter your not guilty plea. Because of either holds, I'm going to appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges
Yes, ma'am.
and set a court date for September the 5th at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, ma'am.
If you are out of custody, you need to be present. If you are still in custody, the Public Defender's Office will communicate with the court and with you on the status.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
You're not to go back to 615 West Valencia or have contact with the alleged victims. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Moore.
Hi.
Jail, do we have a public defender handy?
Yes, I'm right here. I just wasn't sure who was up.
Yep.
Good. I like your link. Your link. Is that like a step or step? Or is it just one of them? It's just one. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it's pretty neat.
All right. Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you are
Sequoia Thompson.
Ms. Thompson. I have an imminent complaint charging you with aggravated assault alleged to occurred on the 22nd of June, vicinity of 3535 East Irvington.
Everything's just all.
We'll appoint the public defender of the legal defender's office to represent you on these charges. And did either council wish to be heard on conditions?
Your Honor, the state would just like to note that the significant criminal history of the defendant, she is also a flight risk. She scored a 5 on the NCA and a 4 on the FTA scales. This incident, the defendant also, we couldn't verify the residential or the occupational information that remains unverified. She has 2 non-extraditable warrants, which shows her non-compliance to other courts. In addition, she had a felony revocation and
These are all on your recommendation, your written recommendation. Do you have anything to add to your written recommendation?
no, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, I just need one moment with Mrs. Thompson.
Okay.
Speaking with us.
Your Honor, I just had an opportunity to speak with Mrs. Thompson, and I believe the court likely noted that this charge is of a connecting case number as another matter that she's already being held on. It's a $5,000 bond. She tells me it's some sort of conspiracy charge. And just to briefly address the warrants, Mrs. Thompson was recently released from DOC. She has made some efforts to address those warrants. I won't totally get into it, but that's all to say that it does not appear that Mrs. Thompson is a flight risk. I do think that she is meaningfully trying to take care of her cases. Your Honor, given Mrs. Thompson's indigency and the fact that she's already being held on $5,000 bond, I am asking for a low bond, potentially to run concurrent with the bond that she's being held on. Mrs. Thompson cannot meaningfully afford any of these bonds, and it will reasonably assure her appearance in court.
All right, preliminary hearing date is going to be July the 7th. Bond will be $15,000. Pretrial services if the bond is posted. No contact with the alleged victim or any potential co-defendants except through legal counsel. You're not to return to the incident location. Thank you, Ms. Thompson.
Good night.
And we're back to misdemeanors.
Oh, that's this. All right, hold it. But, and all the things, training people. Photographs. Only. Right here. Now you'll sit next to her, they'll put down.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shayen, and you are?
Miss Copeland.
Ms. Copeland. I have a number of things here for you.
Um,
I have current charges for possession of paraphernalia. I also have charges for possession of paraphernalia from February the 7th of this year. Failure to appear on March the 12th. And then it looks like a failure to appear sometime in April after you were released at pretrial services.
yes.
And I also have charges out of city court for possession of paraphernalia, failures to appear and failures to appear after release by pretrial services. My question is, how can I be sure you're going to show up in court next time?
I don't have any way to keep track of anything. I'm on the streets. I don't have a phone. I don't have a calendar. I've asked for help plenty of times, and nobody's willing to do anything for me. And I understand it. I'm an adult. I get it. And I've never had this problem before. But the first situation, the gentleman, the officer, decided to take his finger and put it up my panty line, and then grab my breast, and then continue by putting his finger up the thigh and saying, "Ooh, smooth. It must be nice." So ever since then, I don't know what to do because I reported it and nothing's happened. I don't have a choice.
Well, on the new charges, the charges from today, your court date will be tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Janet Alter will be appointed to represent you. Bond is $100. No alcohol or illegal drugs. and no paraphernalia. Do you understand that?
Yes. I'm not gonna be able to do anything because I don't have $100.
All right, and you don't go back to the incident location. Which in this particular matter is 1700 East 2nd Street. So U of A campus. All right, then I have warrant out of Marana with failures to appear. I'll reduce the bond on that to $250. Also appoint Janet Altshuler to represent you on these charges. Your court date on these will be Monday at about 1 o'clock. Again, no alcohol or illegal drugs. And possess no drug paraphernalia. And then, as I mentioned, I have charges out of Tucson City Court. Tucson City Court charges go back to October the 29th. 2 counts of possession of paraphernalia. Alleged to occurred in the vicinity of Congress and the freeway, as well as failing to appear on November the 25th. Your next court date on this will be a review hearing on September the 5th at 9 o'clock in the morning. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you, but you are not being held on these charges. So if you're released on your other charges, you need to be in city court on September the 5th at 9 a.m. Out of custody, you need to obtain substance abuse assessment and treatment. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Do you understand that? If you are still in custody, your attorneys will keep you and the court informed of the status of things. All right. Thank you, Ms. Copeland.
Both of them. Go out that door, sit with your children, or what?
Evening. You
Alexis Gonzalez.
are quite a number of things here. I have a number of things here for you. I have a warrant here, charges that go back to March of 2023, domestic violence assault, domestic violence criminal damage. Warrant was issued in February of 2024, probably because you didn't appear in court or didn't apply. So your next court date on this will be tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We'll appoint Caitlin Waters to represent you. I'll reduce the bond from $500 to $250. No alcohol, illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no contact with the alleged victim. You don't go to the victim's residence or workplace. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. And I have charges out of Tucson City Court. Who is Annalisa?
I don't know. So I don't know. Some girl.
All right. Because I have new charges charging you with disorderly conduct and threats. Alleged occurred.
She threatened first, and then my
You
mom
don't-
had called.
You don't want to talk about facts of cases, okay? All right. I'm just telling you what the charges are. I also have charges from May 25th of 2021 for shoplifting. Someone in the vicinity of Speedway and Cold, perhaps. Failure to appear on June the 7th of 2021. And multiple other times of failing to appear. According to the warrant issued in February of this year, you failed to appear 6 times in those 4 years. Charges for shoplifting, obstruction, that is refusing to provide name and possession of paraphernalia on April the 11th of 2024, again, along with failure to appear. And additional charges from June 18th of last year for criminal trespass, obstruction, possession of paraphernalia, possession of prescription-only drugs, failing to appear on July the 1st. We'll appoint City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. I'll reduce the bond from $2,499 to $500. Your next court date, if you are still in custody, will be July the 1st at 1:45. If you're out of custody, court date's July 29th at 9:30 in the Tucson City Court. You're not to have contact with Analyst. You're not to go to 175 West Valencia, 388 Benson Highway, 4864 South Country Club, or any other incident location. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Do you understand that? Do you understand that, Ms. Gonzalez?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. And I'll just fill out page 2. Thanks, Jim. I said, page 2. All right, thank you. Good evening. I have to say that you are
You agree.
Ms. Ring. I have a number of things here for you. I have current charge for shoplifting, possession of paraphernalia, criminal trespass, description of prescription-only drugs. Do you understand that you are not to go to any Target stores?
I understand that now.
Now, I have 7 files here out of Tucson City Court, as well as these charges. My concern is how can I be sure that you're going to show up in court if you're out of custody and that you're going to comply with court orders?
Well, if allowed out of custody, I don't want to be back in custody, so I would comply.
I'm going to give you another chance, but there's going to be some pretty strict rules. Your next court date in Marana is July 23rd at 10 a.m. Between now and then, no alcohol or illegal drugs. You don't go to any Target stores. You work on substance abuse assessment and treatment. When you're released from the jail later tonight, you're to go to the transition center, which is right outside the front door. There's a blue line that'll direct you to that location. They'll help you get connected with services for treatment. You need to do that. And then, as I said, I have 7 files out of Tucson City Court. We have charges from earlier today for shoplifting at the Walmart. On Fort Lowell about first. We have charges for shoplifting on June the 20th. 1395 West Miracle Mile. And criminal trespass. Charges from June the 21st for shoplifting at the Target on Oracle. Criminal trespass. Charges from June the 21st of last year for possession of paraphernalia and failures to appear. Charges from June 23rd of last year. Possession of paraphernalia, failures to appear. Charges from April the 10th of this year for possession of paraphernalia, criminal trespass at 3567 North Oracle, and failures to appear. Criminal trespass from April 30th of this year, failing to appear. That's 2332 North Oracle. You're not to go to any Walmarts, any Targets, or any of these other incident locations. Do you understand that? Jill, you've got her muted.
Say it again. 3. Say yes.
Yes.
The other thing you can do, help get connected with services. You've come to Tucson City Court tomorrow at 1:30. Go up to the 6th floor to the community court. There will be service providers there to talk with you. You can actually do that any Friday, except next week, which is a holiday.
Okay.
There are service providers. There's a housing person there, not this week though. But that's another way to get connected with services and treatment. And you need to do that. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right, your next court date in Tucson City Court is July the 25th at 2:00. I have a feeling if you don't appear this time, Judge Mayhew is going to ask that a big bond be held, be put on you next time. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Rank.
When you head out that door, so you ladies over there. Out the door. Go.
Good evening, I'm Judge Jade, and you, sir, are
Steve Soto?
jail. No detainer has yet been placed. Is that correct?
What was that, Your Honor?
There is no detainer placed by adult probation at this point. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Oh, shot. I need shot today. Let's go.
Your next court date on this matter is going to be July the 29th at 1:30 in the afternoon in the Tucson City Court. Do you understand you need to be present at this time? Do you understand that? And jail again. Thank you. No acts of domestic violence, no firearms or weapons, no contact with Ms. Perez. You don't go to her residence or work location. And you need to contact your probation officer tomorrow. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Right? Thank you, Mr. Soto.
Thank you, Jerry. I would able to be. I got the hell right here. Up where going out. Rushing. The back on it, I said it's over
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
there. Yeah, so we're all over here.
Mr.
The
McCollum.
next dog, Stephen Ronaldo. Really cool.
Several things.
The same amount. Well, the same.
Are you going to keep talking or let me talk?
What?
All right. I have charges charging you with shoplifting alleged to have occurred this morning at the Auto Zone. I also have charges from June the 21st for urinating or defecating in public at 215 East Congress. And also for criminal trespass at that same location on May the 5th. Your next court date is going to be July the 25th at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Tucson City Court. Do you understand you need to be present at that time?
Well,
You're not to go back to AutoZone or to 215 East Congress. Right. Thank you, Mr. Madrid.
Your Honor, this is our Spanish speaker.
Yep.
Spanish speaker interpreter is on the line, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are.
Javier Méndez.
Javier Méndez.
Okay, somebody's going to help me or you want me to speak?
Señor, ¿me escucha? An
Sí.
interpreter will explain, Your Honor, that we interpret. ¿Habla español?
Pero necesitan hablar claro para poder entenderle. Y hablo
Bueno,
inglés
yo-
también si quieren, o cualquier otro idioma.
Voy a interpretarle al español y la juez le va a hablar. Yo voy a interpretar todo. Go ahead, Your Honor.
I have 3 sets of warrants here for you out of 3 different courts.
Tengo 3 órdenes de arresto en su contra de 3 tribunales diferentes.
I have charges here out of South Tucson from January 5th of 2023.
Tengo cargos del sur de Tucson del 5 de enero de 2023.
This is for reckless burning, along with failures to appear, most recently in May of this year.
Por incendio descuidado y unos más recientemente por falta de comparecencia de mayo de este año.
We'll appoint Michael Vaughn to represent you on these charges.
Vamos a nombrar a Michael Tuan para que lo represente en estos cargos.
I'll reduce the bond to $100 and set a court date for 10 o'clock tomorrow.
Y voy a reducir la fianza a $100 y tiene mañana fecha de corte a las 10 de la mañana.
I also have charges out of Pima County Justice Court. They go back to December 25th of 2022 for criminal damage and
También-
criminal trespass.
Y también hay cargos del Tribunal de Justicia del Condado de Pima de el 25 de diciembre del 2022 por daños a propiedad ajena y por ingreso ilícito.
You're sending me to jail now, 20 years or 40. I don't care about the charges. I just want to go to jail, 40 years or 100 years if you want to put it. You don't have to read me nothing because everything is a lie. 20 or 40 or 100 years, the minute you want to put me, send me now.
Interpreter, do you want to interpret that, please?
Your Honor, he wasn't talking in English, and the interpreter was saying, he said that it doesn't matter the charges, you can read me the charges, but anyway, I'll be 40 years or 100 years in jail. And can I ask him to speak Spanish? Would you like the interpreter to, for the record, for him to speak Spanish?
Thank you. On this matter, I'll appoint Caitlin Waters to represent you. Again, $100 bond. Court date will be at 1 o'clock tomorrow. You're not to have
Bueno,
contact with victims or go to the incident location.
y para este caso le voy a asignar a Kellen Butters para que lo represente. Nuevamente son $100 de fianza en este caso. A la 1 de la tarde, mañana, tiene su hora, su corte, su fecha de corte. No puede estar en contacto con las víctimas ni regresar al lugar de los hechos. Y permítame aclarar, Your Honor, you said court date is tomorrow at 1 o'clock? Y mañana es la corte en ese caso para a la 1 de la tarde.
And then out of Tucson City Court, I have charges that go back to December 10th of 2022.
Y del Tribunal de la Ciudad de Tucson tengo cargos de fecha del 10 de diciembre del 2022.
Failure to appear on December 21st of 2022 and multiple other times since then. In fact, you have never appeared other than when in custody.
Bueno, también hay faltas de comparecencia de la fecha del 21 de diciembre del 2022 y múltiples faltas de comparecencia desde esa fecha. En realidad no ha comparecido nunca al corte, excepto cuando ha estado bajo custodia.
Bond on this matter will be $250. City Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you.
Para esta causa se fija fianza de $250 y se nombra la Defensoría Pública para que lo represente en esta causa.
If you post the bond, your court date is July 25th at 9:30.
Si paga la fianza, su fecha de juicio de corte, perdón, es el 25 de julio a las 9:30.
If you have not posted the bond, your court date will be July the 1st at 1:45.
Si no paga la fianza, su fecha de corte va a ser el 1 de julio a las 1:45.
You're not to have contact with the victims or return to 2332 North Oregon.
Sorry, 23 what, Your Honor?
2332 North Oregon.
Y no puede tener contacto con la víctima y tampoco puede regresar al lugar 2330 de Oregon.
Right, thank you.
Gracias.
Bill.
Evening, I'm just stating you, sir.
Johnny Bell now.
Mr. Bell, entering complaint charging it theft of means of transportation, burglary, the 3rd degree, possession of narcotic drug. Alleged to have occurred earlier today. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. And has probation placed a hold?
Your checks with the jail.
Did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, just briefly, I would like the court to consider his age and the fact that he is a lifelong resident and that pretrial services was able to get in touch with his mother. And I'd also ask the court to consider that some payment was made toward the Tahoe. If the court is not inclined to release him to pretrial services, I would ask for a substantial reduction in the state's recommendation, given Mr. Bell's inability to pay a $10,000 bond.
Preliminary hearing date is going to be July the 7th at 1:30. Bond will be $5,000. If you post the bond, it'll be in the supervision of pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs beginning right now. No contact with the alleged victim or co-defendant except through legal counsel. You don't return to the incident locations. Do you understand that?
No.
If you put that bond, you need to contact your probation officer as well as pretrial services.
I was gonna say, ma'am, is there any way that you could make it lower for me so that I can actually pay it and get out and contact my PO before I get in any more trouble? Because I actually do have a job and I can make my payments. I've been going to court. I haven't had no failures or anything lately for a while. And if you can give me, I would just like a chance to be able to go home. Like if I can afford it, then I can do it, ma'am.
I've cut the requested bond in half. Given the nature of the charges, I think that is sufficient, particularly with the added drug charge on top of your drug probation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Michael, have a seat.
Good evening, I'm Judge Cade, and you, sir, are Mr. Honey. The interim complaint charges possession of dangerous drugs and possession of paraphernalia. We'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you on these charges. It appears that you are eligible to be screened for a pre-indictment diversion program called STEPS. It requires you to participate in a treatment program designed for your needs for a period of time. If you successfully complete it, charges are dismissed without being formally charged. Did you want to explore that program?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel willing to waive time for preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date is July the 3rd at 9 a.m. That's next Thursday at 9 a.m. in Pima County Superior Court. You're released to the third-party custody of pretrial services to participate in monitoring and treatment under their supervision. That includes no alcohol or illegal drugs. Preliminary hearing date right now is set for August the 11th at 1:30. Thank you, Mr. Honea.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Martinez Hernandez, Roberto.
Mr. Hernandez. Interim complaint charging you with 2 counts of possession of narcotics, 1 count of possession of paraphernalia, 1 count of being prohibited possession of a firearm. We'll appoint legal defender's office to represent you on these charges, and did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Your Honor, I just want to emphasize that pretrial services was able to contact his mother, who stated that she can provide transportation to the court. And I would just note that his last conviction is about 5 years. For those reasons, I'm asking for pretrial services release, or given his indigency, substantially lower fines than what the state has.
Preliminary hearing date will be July the 7th at 1:30. Bond will be $5,000. If you post the bond, you'll be in the supervision of pretrial services. No alcohol or drugs, no firearms or weapons. Surrender any other firearms. No contact with your co-defendant except through legal counsel. No firearms in your residence or vehicles. Substance abuse assessment and treatment is available in custody or is directed by pretrial services if you are out of custody. Do you understand that, Mr. Martinez Hernandez?
Yes.
All right. I also have misdemeanor files. I have charges from June 7th of 2024 for driving with influence, intoxicating liquor or drugs, on a suspended license, driving with influence of drugs or metabolites, failing to appear on June the 20th of 2024. Charges for criminal trespass on February 25th of 2025. 638 West President, along with failures to appear. Bond on these matters is $500. If you post the bond, your court date's July 25th at 9 a.m. If you haven't posted the bond, you'll be seen on video on July the 1st, unless your attorney asks to move that. You're not to drive without a valid license, not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. And again, substance abuse assessment and treatment is available, or while out of custody. Thank you.
Go ahead and head out the door, go downstairs, have a seat down there. McKinney.
What's your question? What's your question? Just for today.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Murphy McKinney.
Mr. McKinney, in a complaint charging you with possession of narcotic drugs, possession of paraphernalia. We'll appoint legal defender's office to represent you on these charges. It appears that you may be eligible to participate in essentially a diversion program that results in a dismissal of the charges before formal indictment if you successfully complete a course of treatment designed for your needs. Are you interested in exploring that program?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Time waived for preliminary hearing, counsel?
Yes.
Right. Your next court date is going to be next Thursday, July 3rd at 9 a.m. in the Pima County Superior Court. Do you understand you need to be present at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
The beginning of the STEPS program, so it's very important that you appear. You also need to comply with pretrial services, including no alcohol or illegal drugs, no contact with the co-defendant except for legal counsel. Preliminary hearing date right now is set for August the 11th at 1:30. Right. Thank you, Mr. McKinney.
Roberts.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are?
Roberts.
Robert, I have an interim complaint here charging with possession of a dangerous drug. We'll appoint the legal defender's office to represent you on these charges. It appears that you may be eligible to participate in a diversion program that could result in a dismissal of these charges before there is formal indictment. It will require you to participate in a course of treatment. That's designed for your needs. Are you interested in pursuing that program?
Yes.
Your Honor, we'll waive time.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Your next court date is going to be Thursday of next week. That's a week from today at 9 o'clock in the morning in Pima County Superior Court. Do you understand the importance of being present at that time? Additional conditions: no alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence. Preliminary hearing date right now is August the 11th at 1:30. I also have misdemeanor charges for domestic violence assault, domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and possession of paraphernalia. Right, your next court date on these matters is July the 25th at 9 a.m. You will be released on your signature and promise to appear. If your attorney tells you you don't need to come to court, that does not include this July 25th date, because your attorney does not represent you on those charges. Additional conditions of release: no alcohol, illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no contact with your mother. You're not to go to her residence or workplace except once with law enforcement to get your personal belongings. You need to comply with pretrial services and steps. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Roberts.
Rodriguez.
Good evening. I'm Judge Tate, and you, sir, are.
Carlos Rodriguez.
Mr. Rodriguez, enter complaint charging you with domestic violence aggravated assault. Alleged have occurred earlier today. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
Not outside the recommendation, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Rodriguez and asked him if he had some family in town, given that he is a lifelong resident. He has told me that his mother lives in South Tucson, that she actually lives just down the road from the jail. I am asking the court to consider that he has no prior convictions and is very low on the NCA and FTA scales. I would ask for pretrial services release given the alternative housing information that I've provided. But if the court is inclined to set bond, I would just note that he is currently unemployed.
Well, there is no verification because he didn't provide any information to pretrial services. So I don't consider that at this point reliable information. Given the nature of the charges, the bond is $10,000. Preliminary hearing date's July the 7th. If you post the bond, it'll be distributed to pretrial services. Beginning right this moment, no contact with Kiana except through legal counsel. You don't go near her residence or workplace. That's the entire complex. You can go back once with law enforcement to get your personal belongings. No alcohol, illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence. And I'd suggest you not discuss this matter with anyone except your attorney. Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are?
Jacob Rosen.
Mr. Roseman, I have a number of things here for you. I have interim complaint charging you with possession of narcotics for sale, aggravated identity theft, possession of dangerous drugs, and possession of paraphernalia. Alleged to have occurred yesterday. I also have charges from April the 22nd. Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, 3 counts, and reckless display of a weapon. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. Did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
Not outside of the recommendation, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I would just ask the court to note that he is low on the failure to appear scale and has a short criminal history. He has seems to have stayed out of trouble for some time. If the court is not inclined to release him, despite the fact that he is a level 1, I would just ask for 1 concurrent bond and a low bond, given his indigency.
with regard to the drug and identity theft charges, bond on that'll be $7,500. Preliminary hearing date July the 7th at 1:30. Post the bond, you'll be issued for pretrial services. Conditions of release include no alcohol, illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, no contact with the alleged victim. Behavioral and substance abuse assessment and treatment is available in custody or under the direction of pretrial services if you're out of custody and you are not to leave the state of Arizona. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
With regard to the aggravated assault charges, again, public defender's office, bond on that'll be $5,000. Same preliminary hearing date, bond on this will be $5,000. Again, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, no contact with the alleged victim or with Allison Sorensen. You're not to the incident location. And again, behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment, and not leaving the state of Arizona. I also have charges for driving under the influence of intoxicating liquor or drug, related speeding charge.
You're out. You're out.
At this point, the public represent you on these charges. I will release you on some charges with the understanding that you are being held on the felony matters. Your next court date September the 5th at 9 a.m. If you're out of custody, you need to appear. If you're in custody, your attorney will be communicating with you and with the court. Again, you don't leave the state of Arizona. No alcohol, illegal drugs, no driving without a valid license, and behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment. Thank you, Mr. Roseman.
Fine.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Stephen Ryan.
Mr.
Good
Ryan.
evening.
I have a warrant here out of Maricopa County Superior Court charging you with theft of means of transportation and burglary. Warrants dated 2003. Looks like these are alleged to have occurred in 2003 as well. We'll set a review hearing for July 25th at 9 a.m. That's to see if Maricopa County is going to pick you up. Bond is $5,000. If you post the bond, you need to contact Maricopa County Superior Court upon your release to get your next court date. No contact with alleged victims. And I am noting that you may have been in DOC when they issued the letter.
I have a question too, if you don't mind. I don't mean to interrupt.
Okay.
Yes. So all these incidents happened basically at the same time, but I had no idea that this was that I got a warrant for this in Phoenix. You know what I mean? But I had a bad drug issue a couple years ago, and all this compounded at the same time. So this is the first time I ever heard about the charges was today. And as soon as the marshals called me, I went to the house and let them arrest me right on the spot. Because I just want to take care of everything. The other thing is I just got my kids back from DCS after getting out of prison. I'm their only parent. They have no mother. So like if I'm able to post a bond and at least get things situated, I can pay the rent. I can't do it while I'm in here, but I have the money to where I can pay the rent for the house for the entire year, but I need to be able to get out. And I'm not sure if my mom has the $5,000 to give me right off the bat. I could easily give her $5,000 back. I run my own business here in Tucson. And my business is doing super well. I've been sober for the last 2 years. No alcohol, no drugs, no nothing.
All right. Well, get that secured bond posted, and You'll
take care of it.
out of custody. Okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you, Judge.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you are?
C. Sanchez.
Yes, Sanchez. I have an interim complaint charging you with possession of narcotics, possession of dangerous drugs, possession of paraphernalia. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. It looks like you may be eligible, although given the amount of blue pills, I don't know why, but you may be eligible to participate in a diversion program that could result in a dismissal of these charges before they're formally charged. Require you to participate in a treatment program that's designed for your needs for a period of time. Did you want to explore that option?
I did, yes. That's available to me, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it will be or not, but you'll find out. Have a better idea next Thursday morning at 9 o'clock in the morning. You need to be present in Pima County Superior Court at that time. You'll be released to the third-party custody pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no contact with your co-defendant except through legal counsel. You don't go back to the incident location. And time waived for preliminary hearing, counsel?
Yes.
Preliminary hearing date will be August the 11th at 1:30. Right. Thank you, Ms. Sanchez.
Thank you.
Martinez, Hernandez.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are?
I'm Keith Jarowski.
Mr. Tarowski. I have a name and complaint charging you with being a fugitive from justice. We have a warrant here out of
Travis.
Travis County, so Austin, Texas, for violation of probation. We'll appoint the legal defender's office to represent you on these charges. Does either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
We'll set hearing for July 1st. That's Tuesday at 2:30. Both a no bond hearing and a fugitive hearing, which will be held without bond in this matter. You're not to have any contact with the alleged victims. Thank you, Mr. Tarowski.
Your Honor, is that all that we have?
That's all I've got. Unless you've got
Okay.